It looked like Bria Hartley just got instant karma, bro. She out for the season. I'm here to tell you the most dirtiest player in the WNBA contract has been written, bro. And I'm here to tell you she's out for the season. Yes, you heard me correctly. Yeah, man, Bria Hartley. So Connecticut PR has released a statement. Bria Hartley is to miss the remainder of the season.
Did Bria Hartley just deliver the dirtiest hit of the WNBA season and then get served instant karma herself? Fans are furious after Sophie Cunningham went down with a torn MCL in a collision that many say looked far from accidental. To make matters worse, cameras caught Hartley smirking just moments after Sophie hit the floor, fueling suspicions that the play wasn't as innocent as it seemed. But here's the twist. The very player accused of taking Sophie out is now sidelined for the rest of the season too. The timing couldn't be more ironic, sparking debate over whether this was pure coincidence or the basketball gods dishing out some payback. If you're riding with Sophie, drop a comment below to wish her a speedy recovery. Let's go.
This picture is going viral with Bria Hartley with the sinister grin, right? This malevolent look that's on her face right now. Clearly smiling after injuring Sophie Cunningham, man.
From the moment it happened, the play didn't look clean. Sophie Cunningham absorbed the full force of the contact, crumpled to the floor, and immediately clutched her knee. She never even tried to rise. Trainers sprinted over as her teammates surrounded her, and a heavy silence swept through the arena. This wasn't the usual shake-it-off moment fans are used to. Instead, Sophie was helped straight to the locker room. Her reaction said it all. This pain was different, and everyone watching could feel it.
Is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. And she went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
But what really kept fans talking wasn't just the injury. It was the image that surfaced right after. With Sophie still on the hardwood in pain, cameras caught Bria Hartley wearing what looked like a smirk. Call it a grin, call it a laugh, spin it however you want. But for fans, it all pointed to one thing: a player seeming to enjoy the moment right after an opponent went down clutching her knee. That single frame spread like wildfire across social media, and suddenly the conversation shifted. It wasn't just about the collision anymore. It was about intent.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness. Should be. Scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard, and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room.
The accusation was simple. That's not how someone reacts if it's an accident. Fans argued Hartley's smile said more than any press release ever could. And once that photo started making the rounds, intent almost didn't matter. The perception stuck. Even when Sophie herself tried to cool things down, insisting she was just in the wrong spot, the outrage barely slowed. Fans weren't buying it. The photo didn't match the words. People can accept basketball being physical. What they can't accept is the image of a player looking pleased as another lies injured. And for Hartley, this wasn't new territory. Her history of flare-ups and physical confrontations made the smirk hit harder. Instead of being brushed off as a bad look in the heat of the moment, it became Exhibit A in a larger case against her. Commentators quickly branded it the dirtiest play of the season. Headlines dripped with outrage. Fans flooded comment sections demanding accountability, while referees faced heat for swallowing their whistles. Instead of protecting Sophie, officials once again looked weak on enforcing safety. Make no mistake, the fury wasn't just aimed at Hartley. It was aimed at a league that seems quicker to punish players for criticizing refs than to punish reckless contact on the floor.
Making all kind of excuses to say that Bria Hartley is not a dirty player. Let me tell y'all something, man. Come on in here. Come on in here, man. Let me tell y'all something. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, eats like a duck, it's a duck, man. Come on, man. She is the dirtiest player. in the WNBA right now, winning the trophy. All right? Winning the trophy for it. Don't sit here and try to tell me Bria Hartley is not a dirty player.
By the end of the week, the conversation had moved far beyond a single game. It became about credibility, whether the WNBA would finally step in and set a standard or let another moment of controversy fade away. For fans, Hartley's smirk had already sealed her reputation. That snapshot told a story they were ready to believe. And the unsettling part? This wasn't unfamiliar territory. The question hung heavy. Was Sophie Cunningham just the latest name on a growing list of players burned by Bria Hartley's reckless style? Because while some might try to chalk it up as one unfortunate play, the receipts on Hartley run deep this season. And they don't paint her as unlucky. They paint her as a player who keeps showing up in the wrong kind of highlights.
Atkins, 7 to shoot. Cardoso rolls, catch. Cardoso over the top, can't get it. Reese fights for the rebound and a foul, and this time gets a little chippy and a shove on Nelson Adota. And listen, this arena typically we'll see some ringside fights.
Take the dust up with Angel Reese earlier in the year. That wasn't just routine post play. Fans blasted Hartley for grabbing Reese's hair during a rebound battle. You don't mistake a swipe for a fistful of braids, and Reese's reaction showed just how blatant it looked. The clip spread fast, and by the time it was added to Hartley's reputation file, another incident was already on deck. Next came Rebecca Allen, who absorbed a shove that once again had fans pointing fingers at Hartley. None of these moments brought major punishment, but when you stack them together, the picture becomes clear. To many, Sophie Cunningham was never going to be the last. And that's when the narrative boiled over. Fans weren't seeing accidents anymore. They were seeing a pattern. Patterns changed the story. By the time Sophie went down, clutching her knee, Hartley's trail of incidents was already scattered across the season. So when that smirk flashed on camera, it wasn't just bad timing. People remembered the Reese hair pull. They remembered the shove on Allen. And now, they saw a collision that sidelined one of Indiana's toughest players.
Indiana Fever fans wake up pissed off today. Pissed off. Not only are we getting assaulted, but they're smiling about it. This is the 6th time they've smiled, laughed, and cheered on our Indiana Fever players getting assaulted, getting injured. And it pisses me off.
The anger only grew because officials looked blind to it all. Fans ripped referees for swallowing whistles on hard contact one night, then calling ticky-tack fouls the next. There was no standard. That inconsistency fueled the perception that refs were complicit, turning a blind eye to Connecticut's physical style, while players like Sophie absorbed the punishment. The frustration only deepened when fans remembered Sophie had been fined earlier this season for criticizing officiating, while Hartley faced zero consequences despite a string of questionable plays. For many, that double standard was impossible to ignore. Even Sophie's family had seen enough. Her sister Lindsay and mother Paula publicly questioned why the league wasn't stepping in to protect players. What started as fan outrage now had the weight of family voices behind it, echoing the same frustration Fever supporters have been shouting all season. To them, the equation was simple. If the league refused to act, players were going to keep getting hurt.
Maybe you should focus, her sister. Maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are capable to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you. The only good thing positive surrounding Sophie Cunningham coming out of this game, she looked in good spirits in the locker room.
That's why talk of suspension spread online almost instantly. Fans pointed to past cases where reckless plays drew discipline and demanded Hartley face the same fate. In their eyes, she was already boxed in as a dirty player. The league looked corrupt for letting it slide, and Sophie was the one left paying the price. But before the WNBA could even weigh in, the story took an unexpected twist.
Bria Hartley deserves zero benefit of the doubt. And Sophie Cunningham's family not too happy. I believe this is Mama C. Hartley is a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control. Looked out of control to me.
Fans were bracing for the league to hand down punishment. Suspension chatter was everywhere, and the outcry was so loud it felt inevitable the WNBA would have to respond. But then, out of nowhere, the narrative flipped. The Connecticut Sun announced Bria Hartley was done for the season. Not because of discipline, but because of a torn meniscus in her right knee. Just like that, her year was over. The parallels were impossible to ignore. Sophie Cunningham had just been ruled out with a torn MCL, a crushing blow for a Fever team that already felt battered. And now Hartley, the very player tied to Sophie's injury, was sidelined by her own devastating knee injury. Both players out, both facing long roads back. But for fans, the contrast was clear. Sophie went down as the victim. Hartley went down as the villain. And many saw it as instant payback, delivered quicker than anyone could have imagined.
Even calling Hartley's hit a basketball play, while stressing she didn't believe it had malicious intent. One message was about grace and perspective. The other was about fire and defiance. Together, they gave fans a full picture of who Sophie is, a competitor who doesn't hold grudges but also refuses to get walked over.
I know Bria, and I'm actually really good friends with Bria, and I had been waiting to get on the pod and so we could talk about this because I did want to tweet it out, but I don't think that there was no ill intent. I think it was a basketball play. I was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. She fell. Like, there's no way that she would go in there and potentially try to hurt me. And so I had nothing but love for Bria. And I even told my mom because she tweeted something. I was like, no, Mom, I get it. But I promise you that I was like, Bria and I are super cool. And she would never try to hurt me because there are some girls that I think might, but she wouldn't do that. And so I have nothing but love. And so I hope people stop giving Bria some heat because I don't think she meant to do that at all.
On her podcast, she was transparent about the recovery process, admitting she would undergo surgery and officially be done for the season. She didn't sugarcoat how tough the road ahead will be. And look at the Fever. Kelsey Mitchell continues dropping huge scoring nights. Lexi Hull is proving steady leadership, and Aaliyah Boston keeps battling inside. Add Caitlin Clark back into this lineup, and suddenly the playoffs feels wide open. The league failed to protect Sophie, but Indiana doesn't need saving. They're already writing the comeback story themselves. If you support Sophie, then let's wish her a speedy recovery down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.